It's now my pleasure to introduce this morning's keynote speaker, Dr. Barbara Hancock Snyder. Most of you remember her as simply Barbara. She served as Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs here at UNK from 1988 until 1999. Since then, she's been the Vice President for Student Affairs and Associate Professor of Educational Leadership and Policy at the University of Utah in Salt Lake City. There as here, she served graciously, effectively, and with success. All the time, being mindful of the well-being of students was always in her forefront. She has been a national leader as well. Highlights of her tenure at the University of Utah include initiatives that created individualized attention and intervention for students and the use of technology to enhance their student experience. She created support systems in the areas of enrollment management, career and disability services, leadership involvement, inclusiveness, and personal money management, to just name a few. The university became more of a residential campus under her leadership. There was a greater emphasis placed on recreation and green space, and the Student Life Center was completed, a lasting legacy. She contributed significantly to her profession through active service in the organizations such as the National Association of Student Personnel Administration and the Association of Public and Land-Grant Universities. In return, she received the notable awards as leading student affairs officer in the country who demonstrated sustained professional service in student affairs. Barbara, beyond all of your accolades and your honors, we are so glad to have you come back to our campus. It is your campus. This has always been a family, and Barbara, you've always been part of that family. Welcome home, Barbara Snyder.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. Chancellor Christensen, Regent Pillen, Regent Kearney, and Student Regent Kent. It is truly an honor for me to be with you this morning to address the graduates, their families, friends, and the UNK community. As someone who worked in higher education for over 4 decades and has attended well over 50 commencement ceremonies, I can promise you that the days that students graduate are my favorite days of the year. So it might surprise you a bit to know that I'm a little intimidated to be here and to try and condense my thoughts into something that you will remember past tomorrow or even past lunchtime today. But I'm excited to try. And besides, who could pass up a trip to central Nebraska in the middle of December? It's so good to be home. I'm also painfully aware that I am the only thing standing between you and receiving your diploma, graduates, so my remarks will be very concise. While today is truly a celebration of our graduates, it's also an opportunity to recognize and thank those who helped you make it to this finish line. All of those who are your personal support system, as well as the faculty, staff, fellow students, and scholarship donors who came with you on this journey. The culmination of receiving your degree already tells us a lot about you. There is no single other better determinant of your future success than the degrees that you will receive today. And we're not only talking about financial success, although a bachelor's degree, as noted on UNK's website, can make a difference of $1 million in earnings over the course of your lifetime. But college graduates are also better parents, volunteers, take better care of their own and their family's health, and contribute to the quality of life in their communities at a higher rate than non-college graduates. It also turns out that which degree you earn is not so important as the fact that you earn one, especially from a wonderful institution like the University of Nebraska at Kearney. I can assure you that I have never really utilized my undergraduate degree in textiles and clothing from Ohio State. and I couldn't have imagined that it would lead me to an amazing career in higher education administration. The world lies ahead of you, and it's up to you to decide what direction you will go. Those choices will continue to unfold over the course of your life, and I hope that you will follow your dreams with passion. I want to begin my remarks today by introducing you to a friend and colleague who was instrumental in the historical development of UNK. Dr. William Nestor served as the president of Kearney State College from 1983 to 1991, and he was the driving architect of the initiative to become the University of Nebraska at Kearney. He was also its first chancellor and was an incredible mentor to Chancellor Christensen and to me. And yes, Nestor Hall is named in his honor. Bill was not physically imposing, but he had a great mind and a smart wit, and his leadership style was collaborative and supportive. He was quick to praise, but he could blow you away with a glance when you said something frivolous or inappropriate. When I think of Dr. Nestor's most enduring personal quality, it was his incredible kindness to others. And that is the advice I want to stress to you today, graduates, the importance of being kind. It feels as though the world has never been more uncivil than it is today, here in our own country, crossing international borders, and sadly, sometimes even in our own families. I can't sufficiently emphasize the importance of developing a worldview, whether you stay here in Nebraska or venture to places across the globe. We all know the world is getting smaller, and we are interdependent in ways we could never have imagined a decade, much less a generation ago. What happens in agriculture here impacts the rest of the world, and what happens with climate in the African desert ultimately impacts all of us. We have truly never been more of our brother's keeper than we are today. Last week, I read a quick question. If someone who speaks 2 languages is bilingual, and someone who speaks 3 languages is trilingual, what do you call someone who speaks no foreign language at all? The answer, sadly, most Americans. We have the opportunity to change that through our intentional willingness to push our self-imposed limits and learn more about others. And that's why I've personally committed to retooling and regaining my foreign language proficiency from high school and college, even as I enter retirement. It's also clear that the relationships that we build personally and professionally will either contribute to building a better world or serving as a deterrent. Although he describes it in the context of working in higher education, my colleague Larry Roper describes a relationship as a series of conversations which develop into a meaningful and sustaining interaction. So how would you answer this question? What is the conversation that you have been avoiding that you would have today with a family member, a colleague, a partner, or a friend if you knew you could achieve a positive outcome? And what are you willing to give to construct that conversation so that both sides win? I would also ask you to consider this. If you are surrounded only by people who are just like you, who think exactly as you do, and see the world from your same perspective, I hope you will ask yourself why. While we may be more divided than ever, the exciting news is that people in our country and in the world really do want to change that, with most of us believing there's more common ground between us than we might imagine. How can you move forward with kindness to create the world you want to see? You know, there are countless examples of individuals whose kindness has helped change the country and our planet for the better. Mr. Rogers created change simply by looking into the hearts and souls of children and showing unconditional kindness and acceptance. He was also responsible for saving public television with his plea to the United States Senate for the critical need to support child development. And if you've not seen A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, I highly recommend it. Rogers' ability to patiently listen is a hallmark to which we should all aspire. And Tom Hanks says playing that role has helped him say wait more often, which stands for, why am I talking? Can't we all agree that more thoughtful listening can only improve our lives? Several months ago, Ellen DeGeneres was invited to sit with President George W. Bush at a Dallas Cowboys Green Bay Packers football game. At first, I was horrified that she might actually be a Cowboys fan, but it turns out she took her cheesehead to the game, thank heavens. Anyway, Ellen was severely criticized for smiling and laughing with President Bush, and she forcefully pushed back when she said the following on her show. When I say be kind to one another, I don't just mean be kind to the people who look like you or are just like you or think exactly as you do. I mean be kind to everyone for who they are. George Bush and Ellen DeGeneres being friends gives us hope for the future. So here comes the obligatory part of any true commencement speak, the advice that I share with the graduates. Number 1, head down, work hard. This should go without saying, but the one thing I consistently hear about young professionals is the challenge they present in the workforce regarding their work ethic. Woody Allen may believe that 80% of life is just showing up and that luck will take care of the rest. But the reality is that you will be more satisfied and more successful if you work hard, and not just at your job. When your boss asks you have any questions, they should not be, when will I get a raise? Or when will I be promoted? Work hard at being a good friend, or a parent, or a boss, or an exercise partner, and luck may indeed help you get over the finish line. Number 2, please put down your cell phone. And I don't mean put right where you see it at night and check it night and day. I mean put it down. I know this is difficult for all of us. Some of you are probably checking your phones right now. But most of what comes to you on your phone is something that can easily be delayed until you take a break. There is nothing more inconsiderate than taking a call or responding to a text when you are interacting with someone else, because it signals they are less important, and that is very seldom true. Now let me tell you how not to put down your cell phone from personal experience. I took up playing golf around 15 years ago, and I absolutely love it. Several years ago, I was invited to take one of my life's bucket list experiences, to attend the Masters Golf Tournament. I was beyond excited. I knew that Augusta National had a strict policy prohibiting cell phones on the course, but it just didn't enter my mind when we left our car that morning. We walked about a mile in the dark to get in line at the gate so we could be the first ones in to set up our chairs to see the best shots of the day. Just before the gates were about to open, I had this sinking pit in my stomach. My cell phone was still in my bag. So I considered my options, and here's the one I decided on. I walked over behind a big pine tree, made sure my phone was turned off and locked, and I buried it in pine needles. Seriously, true. And when I came out after a glorious day of watching golf, my phone was right where I left it. And I was fine. And my phone was fine as well. I'm not encouraging you to do that, but you get the idea. And 3, for years I've told freshman students not to choose a major because someone else thinks they should. And I say the same thing to graduates today about taking your first job or your second job or changing careers, which all of you will do at least once in your lifetime, probably more often. Make choices because they matter to you and correct course along the way. And don't let a good job pass you by while you're looking for a great one. A former teacher and mentor told me long ago to be the name that was at the top of mind when someone was asked, who do you know that would be good for this? If you try to be the person whose name consistently rises to the top, great opportunities will follow. Your life is about to unfold in wondrous and magical ways. Perhaps you will continue on a path that has already been made clear to you, or maybe you will forge a new direction that you had never imagined. One thing you can be sure of is that your time at the University of Nebraska at Kearney has prepared you well for whatever comes your way. All of you have faced individual challenges in making it to graduation today, and all of you have the capacity to help others as they have helped you. I hope that you will find ways to pay it forward in supporting your alma mater as it continues to provide incredible educational opportunities to future generations from Nebraska and around the world. Now let me close with a final note about kindness. I have to admit I'm not a super fan of country music, but many in my family are. And I love some of the song titles and lyrics that tell stories of relationships, struggles, and triumphs. Songs like Brad Paisley's "I'm Gonna Miss Her" about his wife wishing he would stop going fishing, or Jimmy Buffett's "If the Phone Don't Ring, It's Me," or the classic Loretta Lynn and Conway Twitty hit, "You're the reason our kids are ugly, but I love you anyway." But my favorite recent song, and no, I'm not going to sing like your previous commencement speaker, which illustrates what I hope you will achieve, is reflected in Tim McGraw's lyrics. I know you've got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. Congratulations, 2019 graduates, and much success.